If you're sitting on the couch right now wondering whether a recliner can actually be more than a fancy piece of furniture, whether it can stay comfortable after a full work-from-home day, keep your back feeling a little less tortured, and still fit your budget, then you're exactly the person who needs a practical, no-nonsense answer. You want something that will actually support you when you're watching a movie, reading a book, or taking a quick power nap between Zoom calls, not just a list of buzzwords that sound good on a sales page. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The biggest hesitation most people have with a high-tech recliner is the fear of buying a chair that looks great in the showroom but becomes a daily source of annoyance. I've spent the last few weeks testing the Human Touch Perfect Chair PC350 in a real home office, a living room setup, and even a small apartment where space is at a premium. What I found is that the value of this chair really comes from how it behaves when you actually sit in it for hours, not from the fact that it's zero gravity or Chiropractor-Endorsed on the brochure. First off, the zero gravity recline is the core idea behind the chair. In theory, it means your body is positioned so that the legs are elevated slightly above heart level, which can reduce pressure on the spine. In practice, when you press the recline button after a long morning of back-to-back video calls, the chair glides back smoothly and lifts you into a near horizontal position without any jerky motion. The transition is quiet enough that you could be reclining while a baby is napping in the next room and not wake them up. For anyone who suffers from lower back fatigue after sitting at a desk, that gentle lift can feel like an instant reset. The leather upholstery is marketed as top grain and breathable, and that description holds up. After a couple of weeks of daily use, the surface stays cool enough that you don't get that sticky feeling that cheap faux leather can produce on a warm day. I also noticed that the leather doesn't crack when you sit in the chair for long stretches. The material seems to retain its pliability even after the occasional spill of coffee. Just wipe it with a damp cloth and it's good as new. If you're looking for a chair that will stay presentable in a living room that sees kids and pets, that durability is a real plus. One of the practical strengths of the perfect chair is the built-in lumbar support. Unlike many recliners that rely on the angle of the backrest alone, this model has an adjustable lumbar pad that you can slide forward or backward to match the curve of your spine. When I set it up for a 12-hour gaming session, the lower back stayed supported without needing a separate cushion. That level of customization is a lifesaver for people who have a specific lumbar issue and have tried generic recliners that only feel okay for a few minutes. Now, let's talk about the drawbacks that matter after the purchase. The first is size. The chair's footprint is larger than a standard recliner, which is fine if you have a dedicated room, but in tighter apartments the armrests can crowd a small coffee table or block a doorway when fully reclined. I had to rearrange my side table to keep it from hitting the chair's footrest, something you'll have to consider if your floor plan is already tight. Secondly, the power mechanism, while smooth, does draw a modest amount of electricity. If you're someone who likes to leave the recline position set for an entire afternoon, the chair will be pulling power continuously. It's not a huge bill, but it's a hidden cost that you might not think about until the monthly electric statement arrives. Who should buy this chair? If you spend a significant portion of your day sitting, whether you're a remote worker, a student pulling all-night study sessions, a gamer who values an immersive setup, or even a senior who needs gentle spinal relief, the perfect chair offers a blend of ergonomic design and convenience that can actually improve how you feel after long periods of sitting. It also makes sense for anyone who wants a chair that doubles as a stylish piece of furniture. The dark walnut espresso finish fits well with both modern and traditional core. Lastly, if you have a chronic back condition and have already tried standard office chairs with limited success, the combination of zero-gravity positioning and adjustable lumbar support could be a worthwhile upgrade. On the flip side, skip this model if you're primarily looking for a compact accent chair, if you have a very limited budget, or if you prefer a manual recline because you're wary of electric components. Also, people who live in very small studios may find the chair's depth to be a spatial challenge. If your main priority is a chair that you can toss into a guest room and forget about, you might be better off with a simpler, lighter weight option. Another practical point, the warranty. Human Touch.